Hello, everybody. I'm Meg from Maison Jupiter and Beyond Mystic, and welcome to your weekly Beyond Astro forecast here on the Beyond Mystic 3 YouTube channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know how you're all doing out there in the live chat and the comments below, because wow, there's a lot of energies that we are processing, which I'm going to be talking about in the forecast today. And I hope you all had a very happy new moon in Scorpio that happened on Monday, November 13th. Very powerful new moon that we'll recap a bit on. And we've got some very interesting things happening this week that I think are some things that could kind of go a little bit under the radar in the spiritual holistic community, but they're a very big deal astrologically. And we're going to talk about them. And I apologize for my lighting situation today, you guys. The time in which I'm recording this Beyond Astro is right when the sun makes this very bright light over here in my office. So let's take this as a sign that there's a lot of light energy, which I think there is this week, and brightness that we can tune into. So I think there's some really cool things going on this week that I'm going to share with you guys. And before we get into it, just want to remind everyone, please share this video if you really enjoyed this content, and make sure you're subscribed to the Jean-Claude Beyond Mystic 3 YouTube channel. Some people have been getting unsubscribed and messaging me on YouTube for whatever reason. So just make sure you're subscribed, and it really helps us if you like, share, and even comment on this video. So thank you guys all so much for your support. And also want to mention that I am offering at this time personal astrology consultations that are available over at maisonjupiter.com. And as of right now, I'm filming this video November 15th, 2023. As of right now, I think I have 3 open consultations left in December for 2023, and then my availability is going into January and February. So there's a few spots left if you'd like to have a reading with me in December, and then we're going to be booked into the new year, and it's a great time to do looking at your year ahead personal forecasts as we enter a new Gregorian calendar year. We know it's not the natural calendar, but it's the Gregorian calendar that we are all on right now. And yeah, it's also a good time to gift an astrology reading to a loved one with Christmas and the holidays coming up if you'd like to. So we've got discount code, all in one word, Beyond Mystic, that you can use to get 10% off your next reading if you would like to. So, okay, first of all, we just had this very powerful new moon in Scorpio, as I said, on Monday, November 13th. And I'm sure some of you guys may remember in the last Beyond Astro that I recorded, I talked about this new moon in Scorpio. I talked about the Mars-Uranus opposition that we are having right now and that we had exactly during the new moon in Scorpio. And I said that there's likely to be earthquakes, intense earthquake activity, or volcanic eruptions. And I said that's not something that I want to happen, obviously, but that is something that can definitely be coming up in the astrology at this time, with Mars at home in Scorpio in one of its most powerful positions, in an exact opposition to Uranus, the planet of instability, shocks, surprises, in the sign of Taurus, which rules unstable earth events, earthquakes, volcanoes. And I'm sure some of you guys have been seeing what's going on in Iceland. Is very, very interesting. It feels very, very interesting because if I understand correctly, Iceland has been under like an emergency warning or something like that since the weekend. And from my understanding, there still hasn't been a very big volcanic eruption. They've been having like a lot of earthquake activity. It's pretty crazy. So Iceland seems to be kind of the center of that activity going on right now. So I invite all of us, if it resonates with you, to be sending prayers, positive energy out to the sacred lands of Iceland, the sacred lands of ice and fire that Iceland is, that there isn't, a crazy, really devastating volcano eruption, but there's definitely something brewing there. So sending positive energy to Iceland. So yeah, that's more on the collective. Mother Earth, Uranus and Taurus, is shaking. She's releasing. She's activating. And we're seeing that with the earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. And there's a mystic that goes by the name of Gigi Young that I really love her work. And she made a very poignant, very good post yesterday on her Twitter talking about esoteric spiritual perspective on volcanic eruptions and earthquakes. So I invite you guys, if you'd like to look more into the spiritual significance of what volcanoes, earthquakes mean, go check out Gigi Young's Twitter. And it's one of her latest posts. You'll see the picture with the volcanoes. I thought that was really, really cool. So coming into this week I'm filming this November 15th, and we're talking about until next Tuesday, really next Tuesday, Wednesday, we've still got Mars opposite Uranus. So this is a very unstable astrological aspect. It's not one of the most negative, scary astrological aspects, but it's definitely one where we need to watch out for conflicts, not just in the collective, but in our personal lives as well. So being aware that people can be more easily triggered if we are having an intense conversation with somebody, if there's a conflict or something happening in our personal lives, whether it's with family, friends, work, whatever. People are more on edge this week, and they've also been so last week. And also ourselves, we can be more easily on edge with Mars opposite Uranus. And I'm feeling guided to pull a card. Usually I pull cards at the end, but I want to do a pull on how can we navigate this Mars opposite Uranus. This can be very unexpected, life changes, things coming up, particularly for anybody who has anything in Taurus around 20 degrees, 21 degrees, or any of the fixed signs, Tauruses, Scorpios, Aquariuses, Leos, also Aries, because Mars rules Aries. So those are the signs that can be feeling it the most, but I just want to do a little pull. How can we navigate this Mars opposite Uranus energy this week? Interesting. Okay. So yeah, it's definitely highlighting our relationships. We've got the South Node in Libra right now, the North Node in Aries, the relationship axis. There can be shadow work. We've got the 8th house card with the Libra card coming up with our relationships. And I'm going to talk about how this week we've got Sun, Mars, kazimi in Scorpio. I'll explain that in a minute, but people's shadow side, people's secrets are being revealed, and there can even be shocking things that come up that can create a disruption, Uranus, that can create a conflict in relationships. So just know, you guys, this is going to last for just the next week. If there's really shocking, weird stuff that comes up, it's the Mars opposite Uranus. Just try to stay as calm as possible if there is a conflict or misunderstanding situation with someone, because again, people can be very, very easily triggered right now, and we're going through a huge collective purging and cleansing. So yeah, that's how we can navigate that, is to just be aware that it's affecting our relationships, Libra, and we've all got a shadow side. Scorpio is the sign in astrology that rules the shadow and the hidden. And the truth is, we all have a shadow side. We all have a hidden side. Nobody is perfect. So this is a week where even if you hear something about someone, a friend, a family member, or a colleague, or even yourself, that may seem shocking or kind of dark or weird, just take a deep breath. maybe take a few deep breaths, Spirit's saying, not just one deep breath, and calm down before. I'm actually getting this message very strong. You guys, calm down before reacting. Calm down before. If you learn some kind of information, we also got the Pallas Athena card, so outsmarting situations, being really smart. Come up with a plan before reacting to information learned. Hope that makes sense, you guys. Yeah, again, because Uranus is in Taurus, Mars is in Scorpio, they're in oppositions. This can be in particular on the collective, having to do with Mother Earth going through a huge release and Earth events happening that can continue into this week. So, okay, I'm very excited to talk to you guys about something else that's happening this week. Is we're having a very rare astrological aspect that only happens every about 2 years and 2 months, which is called a Sun-Mars kazimi. Okay, and some of you guys might know already that a kazimi is an astrological term for when a planet is in an exact conjunction with the sun. Okay, and this is a very sacred spiritual aspect when a planet comes into a conjunction with the sun. And a conjunction, you guys, just for those of you who may not know, is when two planets or two heavenly bodies are in the exact same sign, degree, position in the sky from our Earth's perspective. So obviously the sun and Mars are not literally in the same place out in the universe conjunct. That would cause a little bit of a problem. It's just from our Earth's perspective that they're in the same sign and degree in the sky. And we have Sun-Mercury kazimis. Often we have, I think a few times a year, if I'm not mistaken, we have Sun conjunct Venus, I believe every 9 months. So once a year, but Sun conjunct Mars, we only have this every 2 years and 2 months, like I said. And this is an intense rebirth and new influence for the whole collective, for the whole world, but all of us personally. I'm going to talk about that as well, around Scorpio themes. So this is really, really interesting because actually I'll bring the exact chart. The exact moment of the Sun-Mars kazimi is going to be November 17th. I've got around 11:40 p.m. Eastern time here, when the Sun and Mars are going to conjunct exactly at 25 degrees Scorpio. Okay. And Sun-Mars conjunctions actually set the tone for the whole next 2-year period as a layer of influence. Mars is the planet of energy. So whatever Mars is a part of, whether it's an aspect in astrology or a transit with Mars, it's bringing energy to whatever it's in, whatever it touches. So with Mars being in one of its 2 home signs of Scorpio, Mars is at his most powerful position. Mars is at home in Scorpio and Aries. So Mars is like, hell yeah, I'm at home in Scorpio in an Aries degree. So Mars is in Scorpio at an Aries degree. It's 2 home sign influences conjunct the Sun in Scorpio, also at an exact Aries degree. So let's just do a backtrack before I explain what this entails for the next 2 years. Okay, so let's do a little backtrack. So let's backtrack to 2 years ago. The last Sun-Mars kazimi we had was in the sign of Libra. And Libra rules relationships and our commitments to others and our agreements to others. And Libra can have a lot to do with countries, groups that countries are a part of, diplomacy, law, justice. And what happened pretty much right after the last Sun-Mars kazimi was the war in Ukraine started. And then we started having the war in the Middle East as well. So that Sun-Mars kazimi brought on tensions, because Mars is like a conflict energy. Mars brings something that needs to be addressed. Mars rules conflict, war, energy, independence, It brought conflicts needing to be worked out between countries. Let's backtrack 2 years before that, the Sun Mars kazimi before, 2020, the whole, I'll just say here, because we're simulcasting on YouTube, be careful with my words, the situation of the 2020s, that Sun Mars kazimi before that was in Virgo, the sign that rules health and the health system. So there was a huge highlight and drive towards the health system, conflicts being addressed in that, health issues, which you guys know what I'm talking about with that. So it's very, very accurate in astrology to be able to forecast and predict just by looking at the Sun Mars kazimis that happen every 2 years. So November 17th, exactly, this kazimi is in Scorpio, 25 degrees. So this sets a new tone for the next 2.2 years. And this is, I cannot stress this enough, you guys. This is very, very powerful. Oops, sorry, you guys. Powerful and strong because Mars is at home in Scorpio, and this is at an Aries degree, which Aries is Mars's other home sign. Okay. So Scorpio in astrology rules the hidden parts of life, the shadow side of us personally and us collectively. Scorpio rules death. Scorpio rules transformation, cleansing, purging of toxicity, okay? Secrets and secrets being revealed. The most intense forms of healing and purging, I can't stress that enough, as well as the financial system, hidden money in the financial system, taxes, investments, inheritances. Scorpio can also be conflict. Scorpio can be crisis. It can even be war at times, okay? And it also rules merging with others and spirituality. It's one of the water signs that's more the spirituality of the occult. So like astrology or tarot or hidden psychic abilities. It does rule dark side occult, but it also rules good side occult, which is just things that have been hidden, spiritual practices that have been hidden. So I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay, because I like to tell it like it is. This is really freaking intense, okay? So we're looking at the next 2 years. I'm going to call this the final battle against the dark arts forces. And I know that that sounds really intense for me to say, but I think the next year into 2024 and then the next year into 2025 with this Sun Mars kazimi, at the same time as when we get into 2025, 2026, there's actually some really good things happening astrologically that take us out of this period of really intensity. Just, literally we're in a spiritual war right now. And when we get into end of 2025, 2026, I'm personally feeling that that could lighten up a lot. Okay, so that's the good news. But the next 2 years, this is I'm going to use the word battle. This is a huge cleansing and purging. And I'm also hearing Spirit say, this is where, and I'm just channeling this right now, this is where people are choosing what timeline they want to go on, what Spirit is saying gateway people want to go into. Scorpio rules the passages between life and death. Okay. And it is said, one of my astrology teachers says, and it really resonates with me, that Scorpios get to choose whether they want to die or not. So Scorpios actually can choose whether they want to tap out or not at any given time and basically manifest that. I know that sounds really intense for me to say. So with this Sun Mars kazimi in Scorpio, it's like people are choosing, I think, because Mars is really energizing everything Scorpio rules for the next 2 years. People are choosing whether they want to be here or not, okay, in a physical body, or whether they want to be on the other side. So this is where people are going to be crossing over that don't want to be here anymore for the transition into the age of Aquarius. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, right? We all have our own soul's journey. We all have our own choices. So there's that element to it. Huge purging collectively. So it's very important for us to remain calm, remain strong, and maybe have some sort of spiritual practice or day-to-day practice to keep us grounded, because we're going to be noticing, I'm feeling spirit say, people around us that we never thought would wake up are going to start to wake up big time. And they're going to start to do healing. They're going to start to do therapy. They're going to start to do things that we may have thought we would never see these people do. So this is really powerful stuff. And also this Sun Mars kazimi is highlighting in the collective secrets continuing to be revealed about the powers that be and about the occult and spirituality. Things that have been hidden in the next 2 years, major things are being revealed. And I know what I'm saying can be a little bit intense, but good news, you guys, is we have to go through a birthing process. Scorpio rules birthing process to get to the new life, to get through the new birth, to go through the birth canal, if you will, which when you think about a woman giving birth and a baby coming out of a woman during birth, that's intense. That's Scorpio. There's times where that's happening where you're thinking, okay, holy guacamole, are we even going to make it? Is that woman even going to make it? Like, this is so intense. We are going to make it. We're going through a scorpionic birthing process over the next 2 years into a new age. And interesting that at the same time, Pluto is entering Aquarius fully next year. We've got a lot of the outer planets shifting signs over the next couple of years. So this is powerful stuff. And it's also at an Aries degree, this conjunction. So over the next 2 years, the Aries areas of life are very highlighted. So independence, freedom, our inner warriorship, people not being lazy as much and actually taking action in ways that are in alignment. And Scorpio is empowerment. So following what you love to do, following your passions, Scorpio is this time, is very supported, okay, is very even divinely supported, because this Sun Mars kazimi is in trine to Neptune almost exactly at 24 degrees Pisces. So Neptune is in his home sign of Pisces at a Pisces degree in trine to Mars at home in Scorpio in a Mars degree Aries. So we are going to get through this. We are being divinely and spiritually protected and guided. And I'm hearing Spirit say, ask Spirit for assistance, give permission for the universe to assist during these times, because there will be times where it's intense. And those of us that are aware of the transition that's going on, we're going to be called upon to step into our roles of empowerment in all our unique ways to support this transition. And I also want to mention, at the same time as this Sun Mars kazimi, we've got Uranus still opposite Mars, opposite the Sun. So this is where I think the energy can start moving more fast for us into the age of Aquarius. Time can even feel like it's moving more fast. Innovation, invention, systems changing are going to be moving faster and faster as we get into 2024 specifically. And also next year, we're going to have a very special conjunction. Sorry, the light on my computer is like totally crazy. I'm going to take this as a sign that we're in the light and things are very, very positive. I did not plan this lighting situation in my Beyond Astro. So I think this is the universe telling us there is a lot of light. The earth is entering a light age. Everything is okay. We're just going through the final push, if you will, over the next 2 years, the final purging. Do you guys see that light moving? That's so cool. So yeah, with the Sun opposite Uranus, we're starting to get into a fast track now from this week onwards. And then when we get into 2024, we're going to have a very special aspect that Julie and I are going to talk about more coming up in content. Jupiter-Uranus conjunct on April 20th, 2024. That's also going to fast track us into the age of Aquarius as well, and the Pluto and Aquarius transit. So this is not normal astrology. This is very, very powerful, powerful stuff. And I've just had my notes disappear on my computer. Oh, there they are. So I also want to mention, look at where you have Scorpio in your chart, and particularly Scorpio 25 degrees, to see the area being activated by the Sun-Mars kazimi for the next 2 years. So this is an area being very activated by Mars. Mars is the planet of energy, life force, passion, drive. So there can be releases of stagnation in that area. So I'll give you guys an example. The chart that we have up, this is just the chart for November 17th, but let's pretend that this was someone's chart I was looking at right now, and I wanted to see for them specifically where this Sun-Mars kazimi is activating for them for the next 2 years, where there can be breakthroughs, breaks of stagnation, energetic activations. So here we want to look at what's called chart rulers. So we want to look at the outer part of the chart. If you can see where my mouse moving, where there's a sign at the beginning of each of the houses. Okay, so you want to find the house in your chart that has the Scorpio sign at the start of it, and the houses move counterclockwise. Am I saying that right? Just look at where there's the Scorpio sign. So in this chart, it's the beginning of the 4th house, and we see, oh, Sun, Mars, kazimi. Well, you wouldn't see that if you're looking at your birth chart. Just look at where, because I'm looking at the chart for today, but look at where you have the Scorpio symbol. So for this person, if this was a person, it's their 4th house of Cancer. So it would be their home, family situation, getting a big activation, breakthroughs, major highlighted area of life. And if anybody has anything exactly at 25 degrees of Scorpio, a planet or a placement, anywhere from, I'm going to say 15 degrees of Scorpio to even like around 5 degrees of Sagittarius. Okay, that's going to be conjunct this. So those placements are getting activated by this kazimi for the next year. So I hope that makes sense how I explained that, you guys. And yeah, this is really, really powerful stuff. So I want to share with you, I'm really, really excited that tomorrow, Janine and I are going to be doing our inaugural first episode of a new show exclusive to the Beyond Mystic Insider Access Pass called Navigating the Woo. And this is going to be available for Beyond Mystic Insider Access Pass members. And you can also purchase the shows for pay-per-view on beyondmystic.net. And this is going to be live Thursday, November 6th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And Janine and I, in this new show series, we're going to be giving guidance on how to navigate these times of transition that we are in. So we're going to go over different subjects in every episode, particularly having to do, with the age of Aquarius that we're stepping into, the financial system, the education system, medical system, family units, friendship, love, every area of life. But this inaugural episode is going to be special. I'm not going to give it all away. So definitely go check that out. It's going to be very fun to share that. And yeah, I also want to mention that, let me find where I have this on here. I already mentioned about my bookings. Those are available at maisonjupiter.com. And Julie and I are also doing our Astrology Foundations course at the moment. We're having so much fun doing that over at the beyondmystic.academy. I'm sure the link will be available in the description below. And if you'd like to register and join us for this Friday, we're going to be doing another live class all about the sign of Leo, the astrology sign of Leo, and each of the planetary placements in Leo. So we're having so much fun doing our Astrology Foundations course. I'm very honored to do it with my soul sister, Julie. We felt a very positive energy in the last class and just felt very grateful to be on this journey with all of you participating. And if you're interested in joining in this course, you don't have to be there for the live sessions. The replays are available until the end of time if you purchase the course. So we're having so much fun with that. That's over at beyondmystic.academy. And okay, before we finish up this week's Beyond Astro, let's do a little card pull on our messages for this week. And I'm having a random little fluff on my shirt. Just cover that with my hair. How we can navigate the energies of this week for all of our highest goods with the Sun Mars kazimi, with the Mars opposite Uranus, last week of Scorpio season. Okay, I'm just going to pull some other cards here. Bear with me, you guys. Okay, wow. I love how the cards are always so in alignment with what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to pull from my astrology cards, my Halloween cards, because it's the end of Scorpio season, and my archetype cards. Interesting. Okay, so from the astrology cards, we've got debilitated discomfort. We've got solar flares activation. And we've got 7th house relationship. So this very much goes in alignment with what's going on astrologically. A lot of us are going through activations, the solar flare card, with our relationships, and even discomfort. Because as I was talking about, people are choosing what timeline they want to be on. So it is normal, you guys, to have days, I'm hearing Spirit say, where you're just feeling really uncomfortable and you're feeling weird, okay? You're not going crazy. We're literally alive at a time on the earth right now where we're shifting between great ages. This is a really big deal. So our bodies have to adjust to that. Our emotions and our mind and our spiritual bodies have to adjust to that. This is huge. We're going through a huge, huge activation. And it's important to honor ourselves. It's important to take care of our mind, body, spirit health, pay extra attention to that. But there's a message coming through this week to pay attention to our relationships. And we do have the North Node in Aries, the South Node in Libra. So this is something that since summer of this year, 2023, and until beginning of January 2025, we're being asked as a collective to look at our relationships, whether it's love, whether it's friends, whether it's businesses, who is in alignment and who's not. And being honest with ourselves, and that can be uncomfortable sometimes to have, honest conversations with people, changes happening in that way. So there's a message coming through of it's normal to feel uncomfortable during these times. You're not going crazy. And even if it feels uncomfortable, please be honest with yourselves and others. And it's interesting, from our archetype cards, we've got the rescuer and the guide. So I love these cards so much. These are called archetype cards by Carolyn Miss. These are really cool. So the rescuer, the light attributes say, provide strength and support to others in crisis. Acts out of love with no expectation of reward. So I know a lot of us, sweet, sensitive souls, light workers, we are natural rescuers, okay? And the shadow attribute says, assumes that the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the rescued one needy. This is a really strong message coming through of, where are you being a rescuer? Or where are we, even because we have to take responsibility for ourselves, where we may be taking advantage of someone in our lives? Because that is an energetic drain for the person acting as a rescuer. We need to be honest with ourselves. We are not here to save anybody. I really believe this. We are here to stand in our sovereignty, to be the guides that we are, to be the way showers that we are, just by being it. We don't have to drop everything to rescue people. Okay. So that's a really strong message coming through for sure. And from the Halloween cards, we got Skull of Darkness, blind spot. So I feel like that kind of goes along with what I was talking about with Mars opposite Uranus this week. There can be things coming out where we learn information about ourselves or others where we go, oh, I didn't know that one about that person or about myself. That's a truth coming from my shadow side. And how do I want to act upon that? Do I want to continue having a relationship, whether it's love, friendship, work, whatever it is, after finding that out? This feels like a really big theme. There's a lot of shadow work coming out. So remember, a lot of us who are like-minded, we want to go into this. We naturally want to go to this. We need to be careful going into this. We don't want to take on people's karma, people's crises at this time during this transition. So who was it that said, be the change you want to see in the world? Oh my God, that's embarrassing. I can't remember who said that, but we're here to just be the change we want to see. That's the quote, be the change we want to see. That's the best way to make the change. And I'm also feeling to pull some Astro dice. I've got my Astro dice. This light is crazy in here. I hope you guys can see me. What's the Astro dice message for this week? Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. I love the Astro dice because when you get Astro dice and you can order these online, you get 3 of these dice and they have the planet symbols. One dice has the planet symbols, one dice has the astrology sign symbols, and the other has the house numbers. So I've just messed this up here, but we got Pluto. We got Pluto in Capricorn in the 10th house. Wow. So that's our Astro dice message. Pluto and Capricorn in the 10th house can deal with power struggles and things being revealed, particularly about the 10th house in Capricorn. The 10th house is the house of Capricorn, about work. So this can even be particular regarding work situations, who we surround ourselves with, and is that in alignment? And there can be power struggles in work for sure, but also Pluto in Capricorn in the 10th house is one of the most actually powerful things that you can possibly have in astrology, because Pluto and Capricorn are 2 of the signs that rule power and leadership. So I feel like Spirit's saying, yes, there can be power struggles. Yes, there can be things being revealed about people that we work with, associate with, also what we want in work and career being shown up in our face, and us going, oh yeah, this doesn't really serve me. Why am I not doing what I want to do? Right? That can be more on the personal level, but it's also us being called to step into these guide positions, these leadership positions, these being in our empowerment. That's very strong to get Pluto in Capricorn in the 10th house. So maybe a reflective question for us. I'm hearing Spirit asking everyone watching is, where do you in life need to be more empowered or more in your inner authority? And is there anywhere in life that you're giving your power away and you know that you're giving it away and you're letting someone have a power over you? So that's something that we can reflect on at this time. Okay, if you're still here, this has been a little bit of a long Beyond Astro, but I love you guys. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Powerful, powerful week. Look at where you've got the Sun, Mars, kazimi activating in your chart, 25 degrees of Scorpio. See if you've got any planets or placements around 25 degrees of Scorpio, and be aware that that's going to be an area of influence for the next 2 years. This is exciting stuff going on. I'll see you guys next week. I love you all very much, and I'm sending lots of cosmic love your way. Bye.